Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian Barrera. I'm sorry about the first video. I thought I was gonna get it between 15 minutes, but it cut off at the best part. It really did. And just yeah, if you haven't seen the first video, if you're just logging on right now and seeing this video, like, subscribe, comment, beat me up, whatever. But please watch the first video so you can see the how I kind of threw a juice ball up or a grapefruit up so we can hit it out of the park, and it cut off on that video. So yeah, went over my 15 minutes, but yeah, Yamamoto, the Dodgers. The Dodgers didn't kill baseball. They didn't. They're not killing baseball. They're not. They're doing what every successful organization should be doing. They're literally giving back to the fans. They're giving back to the small companies. They're giving back to the baseball players. Now, you're probably like, Brian, you're a little naive here. The owners are like billionaires. Mark Walter just bought the Lakers. I get it. But to me, that's what these organizations should be doing. They should be giving back to the players, giving back to the fans, right? All the stuff they're doing is what successful corporations should be doing, giving back, right? This is literally what they're doing. If you look at the balanced scorecard that I talk about, this is the balanced scorecard. This is by Kaplan and Norton. It's incredible, incredible stuff. It's so old school, but it's still more relevant today, in my opinion, than it was when it was created. But this is the balanced scorecard. So if you look at the balanced scorecard, this is the way a successful business should create its strategy, align its strategy, and also to create its cultural strategy, create its culture, align its culture with its strategy. So if you look at this scorecard, check this out. This is all Dodgers right here. I did this on Bill Belichick too. I believe Bill Belichick built this without even knowing he built this. The learning and growth perspective is the first phase. Human capital, to me, human capital for a business is recruiting the right employees, the right characteristics, the right gifts, knowing that you can train them and invest in them and empower them to be even better than what they are. The farm system that the Dodgers have, right? That's that system. Information capital is your IP, IT, software, cybersecurity, all that. That's information capital, in my opinion. The information capital part for the Dodgers is their analytics, right? Their sabermetrics, whatever you want to call them. It's their analytics that they have, right? It's the way they do things. It's hiring pitching performance from Clayton Kershaw to help them. That's also part of human capital because you're investing in your employees by making them pitch better, stay healthy, blah blah blah. Do you see what I'm saying? They're intertwining strategies. In any successful business, you're either good at human capital, investing in your employees, or you're good at information capital. Sorry, I got some in my throat. Or you're good at information capital, which is your system that you've built, your software, your IP, whatever. But they're good at both, and they've intertwined both. So their analytics, their development, their all their those departments can go from the pitching performance contract that they gave to Clayton Kershaw's company that consulted him, but that is also investing in your employees, which is human capital. Then your organization capital, like I mentioned earlier, they got Freddie Freeman. They gave him another year that he wanted because he wanted that extra year or two. They got Max Muncy. They saw something in him. So that's again human capital, investing in your employees. But at the same time, they were older. They were supposed to be in their prime. But that's what they're doing. Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell. That's what they're doing. They're literally building the perfect organization. You want to look at perfect organizations? Look at the Dodgers. I'm telling you, take a deep dive, read books about them. The best team of money can buy by Molly Knight, The Arm by Jeff Passan. I believe Pablo Torre or someone else wrote an awesome book. I'll find it. It's about winning in the Dodgers. Was it Alden? I forgot who it was. I'll find it and I'll post it. But they bring great stuff about the Dodgers. This is what they've built. So in business, if you understand, if you're human capital based, information capital based, or organization capital based, if you know your market, if you know the players in your market, the available employees in your market, the recruitment portion of your market, if you know all that, what's going to be successful in your strategy and your culture, then your operation is going to run very well. You're going to get wins, right? You're going to get wins. You're going to get some World Series rings, all that stuff. That's your internal perspective. Your processes are going to run very well. Operations management process, customer management process, innovation processes, regulatory and social processes. That's business. Look at customer management, selection, acquisition, retention, growth, innovation, opportunity, R&D, design, development, launch. Operations, supply, production, distribution, risk management. All these things, that's business. Tell me that's not the Dodgers. Tell me that's not what I just told you about the pitching performance acquisition. Tell me that's not them about their farm system. Tell me that's not them about how they're treating Japan like it's California and Florida with their scouting and their farm systems. The players they're going after. That's why I know they're going to sign. That's why I know they're going to sign this guy. Um, I forgot his name for a second. Sorry, Murakami. I know they're going to sign this guy, right? But that's what I'm talking about. And then if you're good, if you're winning World Series and you're winning games and you have a good culture, then your customers notice it, right? Your customers notice it. Your pricing, your quality, your availability, selection. I haven't heard too much about Dodgers tickets being that expensive, that overly expensive. I really haven't. I have not heard that it's like you can't even go to a game anymore. I haven't heard that. I haven't. And I know a lot of people that go to Dodger games. Okay, selection, functionality, service, partnership, brand, the image, the relationship, the product, service attributes. They made $1 billion in revenue last year. The Shohei Ohtani ROI was done in 1 year. $1 billion in revenue throughout all their businesses at the Dodger Zone, from the parking lot to the real estate to the valuation to $1 billion. Retail, the TV deal they have, all that stuff. They added Japan, Canada, the Toronto Blue Jays, their market watching the game, Japan watching almost every time Otani bats or every time Yamamoto pitches, even Roki Sasaki. They are Japan's team now, right? On top of the US. But look what happens. If you know what you are, learning and growth perspective, then your processes are going to run very great, which is internal. Then your customers are going to notice it, which is the fans, the MLB. Then the owners are going to have long-term shareholder value. Improve cost structure. They don't have to charge you an arm and a leg. That's why they're doing renovations to the stadium. Increase asset utilization. I know you guys are probably saying, Brian, you're very naive. You're so naive to think they're not greedy or blah, blah, blah. They probably are greedy. But I'm just saying they're giving back to their players. Like, man, I'm telling you, like, that's what happens. If you want to run your business effectively, you have to treat your employees right. You treat your employees right, your customers are going to notice, and the money's going to rake in. It's going to come in like crazy. Expand revenue opportunities, which they've done. They just bought the Lakers. Expand revenue opportunities. They just bought the Lakers. Enhance customer value. We're all happy. We won the World Series. Like I said, I haven't heard anyone complain about price. I know a bunch of people that go to Dodger games left and right. But that's what you're seeing. And it's all a trickle down. So once it goes there, right? Productivity strategy, growth strategy, right? Improve cost structure. It goes right back to the beginning. They give right back to the company. That's why this guy, and I'm going to end it here, that's why this guy signed with him. That's why Yoshinobu Yamamoto gave up more money with the Yankees, the Phillies, and I think the Padres, I think. They offered him more money than the Dodgers did. But he went to the Dodgers because they were building this. That's why. They were building an amazing organization. That's why. This one right here. Nope, sorry. This one. That's what they were building. And he wanted to be a part of that because he knew Otani was happy. Otani got the deal he wanted. Freddie Freeman got the deal he wanted. Mookie Betts got the deal that he wanted. Muncy, they also got all these guys got the deal they wanted. And that's why they landed Yamamoto. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They got him. He saw it. He believed in it. He passed up more money to go join the Dodgers. And look how he paid them back. He pitched 3 games in the World Series. They won each game that he pitched in. He won 3 games for them. You could say he single-handedly won the World Series. He didn't. There was a lot more. There was the Rojas defensive plays, Kike, Pages' catch, Muncy's home run, Will Smith's home run, Rojas' home run. I haven't said Otani. Mookie Betts played stellar defense, but he had a couple errors. Freddie Freeman didn't play that well either. He had a couple homers, but he didn't play that well. We're talking about Muncy, Smith, Rojas, Kike, Yamamoto. Yamamoto's a star, but most of the role players came in. That is what happens when you build a balanced scorecard. All right, guys. Thanks. Take care. Bye.